Hello world, I'm Robin Catling and this is Write On. Join me in my author journey as I delve into the craft of writing, bringing you tools, tips and lessons learned the hard way so you don't have to. The rules of good dialogue. Forget my English degree. The last 3 years of webinars, classes and craft books have taught me about the rules of good dialogue in fiction. Of course, any rules are like the pirate code. More like guidelines, really. Or like the white lines on the highway. Ignore them at your own risk. My starter set for the rules of good dialogue include the following. 1. Clarity is king. Clarity comes at the top of every list of writing craft tips that I make. For dialogue, it's who is talking, what are they saying, and how are they saying it. Statements of fact should naturally be clear. Everything else, opinion, motivation, bias, deception, counter-deception, those need to be added in layers, like lasagna. Otherwise, you finish up with a tangle of spaghetti. Don't leave that to the reader to untangle. They'll probably get it wrong, and that's not their fault, it's yours. 2. Believable. Dialogue should be believable, even if only in the context of the one story for which it's written. Would someone actually say that, in this context, to the very person listening? And how would that person respond? Are they ignoring the elephant in the room, or otherwise burying the lead? Does it contain anachronisms, concepts, facts or references to past and future events that the characters couldn't possibly know about? 3. Realistic. Dialogue should sound like real speech to the reader. Harrison Ford once said to George Lucas, "You can type this stuff, but you can't say it." Read your dialogue out loud and judge if that's how a real person speaks. Then consider the impact of the character's background, education, prejudices, biases, agenda, age, race, gender and social class. Does it still sound real or authentic? 4. Cut the filler. Contradicting Rule 2 for realism, written dialogue doesn't need all the ums, ers, whats, likes and you knows that humans use in speech to fill the gaps while they're thinking. It's ugly, it takes up valuable space and reading time, no one needs it. Unless you use it selectively to detail a character's voice or emotional state. And it better be selective. A whole room of teenagers parroting like and you know and awesome every 30 seconds is not good writing. Let the reader interpret. See also Rule 5. 5. Cut the small talk. Characters idly chit-chatting about the weather may be realistic, but it's also dull, time-consuming, and a waste of keystrokes. Unless there's subtext. Is there something else going on under the dialogue or through the dialogue that advances plot or character? Some social climbing, a coy courtship, that build up to an argument or a making up. When there's no subtext, small talk is pointless. When it's a cipher for something else, it can be genius. See also Rule 6. 6. Some things are better left unsaid. This is what subtext is for. The surface dialogue may leave out swathes of important plot and character points. It can be useful for highlighting what's missing more than what is actually spoken. Confessions, longings, declarations of love, guilt, or regret, or happiness, contentment, and satisfaction. 6. Dialogue needs distinctive voices. The reader should be able to tell who is speaking from their distinctive voice. An old man and a child shouldn't speak the same. Nor should a lawyer and a garbage collector, or a wizard and a thief. Tone, vocabulary, flow, rhetoric, sentence construction, all of these contribute to distinctive voices. 7. Tag your dialogue wisely. Some authors swear you should only use said in the dialogue tags. Others insist you should use anything but said. Some have banned words for their dialogue tags. He ejaculated. Most avoid any adjectives modifying the dialogue tags with ly descriptors, he said apprehensively. There are no hard rules. Use whatever tagging works, but use it consistently and deliberately. Build it into the style of the writing, not as an unconscious tic. Recognise when it sounds intrusive, cheesy, or weakens the writing, he said sternly. 8. Meaningful information. Dialogue should contain meaningful information that progresses the plot. This is one of the most important rules. Dialogue has to matter, or else why is it there? Random conversations about teaspoons don't contribute to an existential debate about the nature of artificial reality. Okay, bad example. There is no spoon. This is a key plot point in The Matrix. 10. Breaking the fourth wall. Bad dialogue can ruin a good book, drawing attention to itself, taking the reader out of the immersive experience that we value in fiction. Not to keep ragging on Jane Eyre, but the final chapter begins, "Reader, I married him." Talk about breaking the fourth wall and smacking you on the head with one of the bricks. 11. Good dialogue shows without telling. The old show don't tell rule applies equally to dialogue. It can deliver a lot of plot and character through conversation. One line of good dialogue can tell so much more of the story than 3 paragraphs of purple prose. It can do much heavy lifting of plot and character in an efficient form. Bad dialogue can be a terrible device for telling us the plot. It's exposition in disguise. 12. Dialogue from experience. Dialogue comes easier to some writers than others. A lot of my fiction starts with snippets of dialogue. These snippets become cornerstones of scenes, chapters, even whole plots. It doesn't mean all my dialogue is flawless, however. This is a far from extensive list, and I'm finding all manner of breaches while I'm editing my own manuscripts. That's all for this time. Thanks for stopping by. You can like and subscribe to the channel, or go to robincatling.info to check out the blog.